Welcome back to Soul Light Reflections. Today is the first time ever that I am recording an episode with video, so that's exciting. It's something that I haven't done just because I'm like overthinking it, I guess. Like, oh, I need to like get ready, I need to like look pretty, and then I'm gonna have to like edit it differently. And I realized that that's just a bunch of bullshit, and I need to just start doing it. So here we are. And I have Max with me, which is really exciting, my fiance Max, and he's been on one episode before when we talked about like the story that we met. And we keep saying that we will record an episode about our engagement, and we will one day. But
One day.
today, we were talking about our experience at Lightning in a Bottle, and I was realizing that everything that we were talking about needed to be in a podcast episode. And I was like, hold that thought. Like, let's get home. Let's record an episode about this. So here we are. So we basically want to share about our experience at Lightning in a Bottle because, as you well know by now, we both really love music festivals. It's a huge part of our life. It's been a huge part of our like healing journey individually and together. And Lightning in a Bottle was like the first time I've ever walked away from a festival thinking that was hard. I've never had that. Like, I've had experiences during festivals here and there where it's a little bit challenging, things are hard, but I've never walked away from the full thing being like, that was hard. And I want to also note that life is all about duality, right? I talk about this a lot. We have to know the hard to know the amazing, the good, the exciting, the radiant. And I'm grateful for my experience, our experience. I am still had a lot of fun. Like it's not like I was sitting there hating it the entire time. But we want to kind of like walk you through our experience. And I kind of want to start like way at the beginning. Um like way before the festival. So we bought our tickets like a year before almost. Like when they first went on pre-sale, which was right after Lightning in a Bottle happened last year. And we were like, heck yes, we're doing it. Our one friend told us, like, you have to come. Well, we had other friends telling us, but there was one friend particularly that was like, no, literally, this is the best festival. Like, you guys have to come. You will love it. So we're like, all right, cool. Got our tickets. But then when I was in Costa Rica, I was having like these thoughts back and forth, like, I don't know, should we go? Should we not? And it was really tripping me up because with experiences in life, especially in the last couple of years, I get very clear intuitive hits of like, yes, you should do this, or no, this is not
It
aligned
was
right
tripping
now.
me up too because it was we're going, we're not going, we're going, we're not going. And I was at peace at one point of not going. I was bummed out. And then it was like, actually, we should go again. And so then I had to totally change everything in my brain and say, all right, I guess we're going. And then it was maybe we shouldn't go. And I was like, no, we're going now. We're not doing that again.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, I didn't really get a clear intuitive hit, so I was very confused. I was like kind of like floating around, like, I don't know, we could not. And then we were also trying to decide what we were gonna do. Are we gonna fly down and not have any of our camping stuff? Like when we camp at festivals now, like we have got our setup on lock. Like we have a very comfortable setup. We have like easy ups and tapestries and the hammock and like our cooking set station and our everything in our tent, like air mattress, the whole thing. And it's very comfortable. We like the way we camp. And I'm like, I don't really want to fly there and then not have any of the stuff that I know I love camping with that'll keep me comfortable, especially because this festival is 5 days. I've never been to a festival that's 5 full days. I've been to a festival that I've been there for 5 days, but like the festival itself was only four. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, like this is a lot. So, um, we weren't really sure, like, do we fly down and not have our stuff? And like maybe like we were originally thinking of doing an RV with our friends, ended up like not doing the RV with friends, and then we are like, okay, well, let's drive down. Let's bring all of our camping stuff. And that felt really aligned. And then we were like, well, we don't really trust our car to like make it all the way down and back. So then we're renting a car. Like, that's an added cost. That's an added like thing. Anyway, so I already was like back and forth, back and forth. What do we do? Because most of the festivals we go to are in the Northwest and it's like 8 hours or less drive. Like most of them are like 2 hours away. So this was like a whole like brain game of just like, okay, wait, this is like so much to think about. So then I was talking to my friend Bianca, who was going with a different group of people. And I was like, I just don't know. Like, why am I not getting this like intuitive hit like I usually would? And she's like, girl, maybe it's literally just because like it could be fine either way. Like you'll have a lot of fun, you'll have a great time if you go, and maybe you'll feel fine if you don't go. Like it could just be that like there isn't an intuitive answer. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And then I was like, all right, we're going. And so we ended up going. And it's funny that I was so back and forth about it because I'm not usually back and forth about things. And now reflecting back on our experience at Lightning in a Bottle, LIB, I realize why I was so back and forth because we had these crazy experiences that we wouldn't have had otherwise. But also, I firmly believe that we would have gotten the downloads that we got there if we would have not gone too. So, anyway, that was like way before LIB. Fast forward, we are packing up. Like I had everything like pretty ready to go a couple days before we left, which is not normal for me usually.
Nice
Yeah.
on my end. Just everything was basically ready to go.
Yeah, so he was like working like a maniac all week before, and I was like really just kind of getting us set up for success, making sure we had everything we had, like making lists of what we needed to grab and stuff. Usually when we go to music festivals, at least like last summer and the summers before, like I've been like working another job at the same time in addition to doing my own stuff. So like I'm also very busy and like we end up like putting everything together like usually about 24 hours before we have to leave, but sometimes maybe an extra day sooner. This time I had everything pretty much ready like 3 or 4 days in advance, and I felt really good. Um, and so we start making our drive down, and there was like a lot of synchronicities along the way. Like we were getting a lot of angel numbers and things like that, and it just was like really exciting. And we didn't really have like a full plan for like exactly where we were going to stop or exactly what we were going to see. I kind of had like a loose idea of where I wanted to go. I really wanted to go to Mount Shasta. We were going to go to Nevada City to visit my friend Jackie that I met on the retreat that I went on in Costa Rica. Other than that, we like didn't fully know what to expect, where we were going to be. We planned on camping the whole way down, kind of like dispersed camping.
Except for the last night, have a
Yeah.
Airbnb
Yeah.
before the festival and camping.
Do you want to talk about like the drive?
Yeah, the drive was great. I don't know. It was pretty felt honestly pretty easy. I mean, the first night we were planning on going maybe to the coast in Oregon and camping, but the weather was looking kind of sketchy and rainy, so we're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just drive all the way to Shasta. And so we did and found this spot that Rachel found just well, we were gonna get an Airbnb and then that fell through because it was too late. So she found just a free camping spot that people had talked about online, and it was awesome. We woke up. We knew we were kind of by the mountain, but
Yeah, we could like
was
maybe see it in the distance.
but we weren't totally sure. It was pitch black when we got there, and then yeah, woke up and boom, it was right there. So that
It
was
was
a great.
crazy. You can like look on my TikTok, and I posted a video of like my reaction of like coming out of the tent because we have like a blackout tent, right? And so like we didn't open any of the windows before we got out because we were like we want to be surprised. And I open it up, and in front of me is just like this beautiful landscape with like mountains in the distance. I'm like, wow! And then I turn around, and the mountain is like, boom, right there, beautiful, like just oh my God, the energy is insane in Mount Shasta.
Yeah, so that was great. And then yeah, hung out in Shasta a lot of the day. Drank the awesome spring water that we called it the hippie watering watering hole. A bunch of hippies and just travelers were
We're
coming and
all just like
filling
filling
up
as
their
many
water
jugs as we
bottles.
could.
Yeah,
Like,
super clean, pristine.
oh, it was
An old hippie guy
incredible.
told us that, yeah, his friends or people have like tested it many times and it's yeah, pretty as clean as you can get.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was great. And then yeah, visiting Jackie was super fun. Nevada City, had no idea even what Nevada City was, and small little hippie town
It
kind
was
of
so cute. The energy was insane. So yeah, we drove from Shasta. We took our time in Shasta. We went to this like super short walk to a waterfall. Like I was showing Max pictures of the waterfall on All Trails, and he was like, like I could skip that. And I'm like, well, it's right off the road. Like let's just like stop by. He's like, okay, fine. And then we like get there. We go down this trail. It's like literally like a maybe 10-minute walk down to the waterfall. We get down there, he's like, "You didn't tell me I could walk behind the waterfall." Like, no, this is
That was a
awesome.
cool waterfall.
So we like go down, you like walk behind the waterfall. It was really cool. And then we like walked and like found the river, which was awesome. The Sacramento River is just like so beautiful. Or no, Yuba River, I think.
I think so.
No, sorry. I'm
No,
confusing
that's
Shasta
the
and Nevada
yeah,
City.
city.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know what river it was, but it was beautiful and amazing. Um, so yeah, that was awesome. And then we got back on the road and like made our way to Jackie, which was only like 3.5 hours away. Got to her place and she lives in like the cutest apartment on this like homestead farm with like a pond and oh my God, it was beautiful. Like I woke up like an hour and a half before Jackie and Max and I just like walked down to the dock and just like heard all the animals and like the birds and the toads and or like frogs and I don't know, just like meditated for a while and just sat outside until I got too hot and I like had to go inside and change. But yeah, and then we just like went to Nevada City, had brunch, walked around, like so many cute little shops and like crystal shops and gift shops and a thrift shop, just like all the things. It was so nice. And like spending time with Jackie was amazing. We love her. Um,
And then Tuesday, yeah, then after that, hanging out all day, we drove to Bakersfield and got in at whatever time at night.
like 8-ish, I
It was
think.
8, got dinner, some Chipotle, had an Airbnb.
But when
Well,
we
as soon as we got in, yeah, I mean, I'm hungry and she's hungry. I don't even know. I guess you were hungry, but she starts like freaking out. She's like, I can't be here. I don't know. The energy. Like, we just rolled into town. I'm like, dude, what? Like, we just gotta, like, let's get some Chipotle and get to the Airbnb and chill. She's like, I don't know. No, I don't, I can't be here. I don't, I'm like, dude, the drama. I was just like, chill. Like, you're fine. And so,
he
yeah,
it's crazy. He literally was like, dude, like you're fine. Like we were in a
she
really
was a
nice
little
like
crazy. It was a little crazy.
we were like right in like this like really nice shopping area where like it should be fine. There's like a Chipotle, we're gonna grab food and like eat really fast and go to our Airbnb. We're tired, whatever. And like have a chill night before we go into this festival the next day. I was not okay. Like my energy was just like all over the place. I had a pit in my stomach. Like I don't know. I was not good. And then like we ate and I was like, I don't know, maybe I feel a little better, but then we get to this Airbnb and like for some reason I still just was like, ah. And then I took a shower to try to just like wash everything off. I'm like, okay, let's just like kind of reset. Um, and then it felt a little bit better, but I still like I feel like it was like premonition. Like my body, my energy was just like, oh, here we go. Like, oh,
And I think the nerves of just like any new festival and stuff, and it's
totally.
not just like a 2-day festival, it's a 5-day festival. So like I think all that, like I mean I had yeah, butterflies and stuff in my stomach too. And we were in Bakersfield. There's nothing in Baker. Every person we spoke with and said, we're going to a music festival in California. They're like, where at? I'm like, Bakersfield. They're like, oh, Bakersfield? Like, really? There's nothing there.
So after we get to Bakersfield, I'm like having all these feelings, and Max is like, well, I mean, they say this is the armpit of California. I'm like, I didn't know that. Like,
Actually,
I
apparently Fresno is what my mom said.
everyone else told us Bakersfield too, but I guess there's multiple arm. Well, you have two armpits, right?
It's true.
But yeah, if you're from Bakersfield or Fresno, we're not talking shit on you, I promise. um, but yeah, so he's like telling me this, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me this? Like, this is bad. I don't like it here. Like, I want to go home. Like, the energy's just not
Yeah,
right.
you did say I want to go home. I'm like, all right, I guess we'll just pack up the car and go drive all the way home.
Yeah. So we're like at this Airbnb and like the Airbnb was fine. It was like nothing special, but it was fine. And there was like, a place to sleep indoors, not camping. Like the night before, we're gonna be like camping for 5 or 6 days straight at a festival. So then I'll let you keep going actually.
Well, then the next morning, yeah, we get all our food, Trader Joe's, whatnot. And then our two friends, Garrett and Lindsay, who I think we told the day before that we're going because we were going, we weren't going. So last they knew we weren't going.
Yeah.
And we didn't tell them until like the day before that, hey, we're actually going. And they're like, oh, what? And so they're like, well, let's camp together. And they got into the festival before us in the morning time, like right when gates opened, they were there. And long story short, Lindsay talked her way into getting them like closer to the venue. Otherwise, camping is like way far away, which we didn't realize how far away until after the festival when we
Like
were
not
leaving.
all the camping is though. It's because we got there early. They're trying to fill in like the back
Yeah, they
first.
fill in the back first and then bring it like closer, which I mean makes sense from just a logistics standpoint.
Yeah.
But we would have been, because we were there so early, all the way in the back. It would have been
And when we were
such like an
driving,
hour walk, like
yeah.
so far away. When we left the festival the last day, we saw how far away some people were. Like, wow, we lucked
Yeah.
out. So, Lindsay, you're a G for
Literally.
hooking that up. And so, yeah, long story short, she spoke with some people who worked there and said, "Hey, our friends are trying to come over to it's called Sunrise,"
And
and
they were so
they're
nice. They were
so
like, "Yeah,
nice.
we'll go get them." Like they were like, "We'll go in over in our gator and like pick them up wherever they are and like, guide them to where they need to
Which
be."
they did
Yeah.
and got us over there. And it's Wednesday, and most people don't get to the festival until Friday, and so it's pretty empty,
Yeah.
especially where we were. And so, yeah, I mean, a great start to the festival. Like the guys were so nice. We gave them lucid hydration, snacks. They were so thankful. We were super close to the venue. Yeah, and we're with our friends Garrett and Lindsay. We're like, this is an awesome start. We set everything up pretty quick. Like,
Yeah, we're like,
boom.
all right, cool.
Our
It was
neighbors were
really
there.
hot, I will say. And I was like, why does this heat feel so different? Like, I'm a girl that loves the heat. I spent a month in Costa Rica. I was loving it. I used to, like, years ago, go to Tucson, Arizona, where my parents lived, like, in the summer purposely because I loved the heat. But this felt so different to
It was a
me.
hard heat. I mean, I haven't been in the heat for months, so going to 95 and it was dusty too. I mean, Bakersfield's farmland. You're like driving in, it's just
It's
farmland, flat. Like it's
smelly.
just that's all it is. It's just very dusty. And so yeah, it was very, very dusty and everyone's nose, like I had a bloody nose every day. Everyone was just struggling with dust in their nose and congested and so
We got bloody nose, and like I don't get bloody noses ever. I used to
yeah.
as a kid, but Max has like always gotten bloody noses since he was little, and like still gets them like not super regularly anymore, but in situations like that, literally every single day he had like a bad bloody nose, and I was surprised when I was like, wait, I have a little one right now. It was
Yeah.
bad.
So it was that. I mean, just the beginning of that was like, whew, this is gonna be, a challenge. Like
Yeah.
5 days in this heat of 90 to 95 every day.
With like
Um,
so much dust, and like we also had heard like there was a lake on the property in Bakersfield at this like venue. We were like, okay, like kind of in the back of our minds, like maybe we would like want to get in. Like we know it's not gonna be like beautiful Washington lakes or rivers, but like it could be fine to like jump in when you're feeling cold. And we got there, we took one look at it, and we're like, absolutely not.
and most people, like our neighbors too, who had been to LIB a bunch. And granted, this venue is newish. I forget how long they've been at this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're from California too. They were like, yeah, we wouldn't recommend getting. You can put your
yeah,
feet in, but like, you
yeah.
don't want to be swimming and swimming underneath because it's more of a reservoir. You're in farmland. It's not like
It's
a
no,
lake.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's kind of like a man-made lake,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's
And
like the
so.
grossest lake I think I've like seen. It's
I wouldn't
pretty
even
bad.
say it's the grossest lake ever. Like, I mean, that's you're going pretty far there. But like, because people were swimming, it's an all ages festival, and so there was kids there too and families, and
Yeah.
so a lot of people, mostly the kids, were swimming, and you're fine. You take a shower and stuff, you would have been fine. But it's not the cleanest,
And
and the fact that you have to probably shower afterwards, like, and we're camping, it's not just easy access to showers until the homies Hadley and Jordan
yeah.
hooked it up with getting
Yeah.
us to have showers in
Yeah.
Atlas Wild. So
So basically, that was like a bummer because we are so like privileged and blessed to be able to attend so many awesome festivals in the Northwest where there's beautiful lakes and rivers everywhere. And like basically every festival has river access, which is awesome. And like especially Shambhala, which everyone by now knows is like our home festival we love in Canada. And like that has like the amazing river right there. Like you can hear the stages from the river. You can like that's like where people are during the day, and it's just like so refreshing. And it's like you don't even feel like you haven't showered that day because like you got in the river. And
yeah,
so like not having that with paired with the heat and the dust was really hard. And part of me was like, okay, this is like preparing us for like the day we go to Burning Man because we still have never gone. And it's been on my radar literally for like over 10 years. And I'm just like waiting for the time when like it just aligns to go and I don't want to like push it and make it happen. So anyway, I was like, okay, maybe this like prep for that, like just got to deal with it. But then in reflection, I wasn't thinking this at the time, but in reflection earlier we were talking and I was like, the like it wasn't just the heat, it wasn't just the dust, because Shambhala also gets hot and dusty. Like it's different. The dust felt different.
It
The
did feel
dust was
different.
like thick and like chemically, and I don't know, it just was like did not mesh well with the body. And I feel like now reflecting back, like my perception is like the land is just like sad, honestly. Like it's just sad. It has so much just like it's holding on to there from like all this like man-made stuff. And I'm just like, it's, I don't know, it's like not the greatest setting for a festival in my opinion. And I think that that was like really throwing me off on like an energetic level that I wasn't even fully realizing at the time. I just was like, this is fucking hard.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it was just the dust was different and not being able to swim made it hard. And everyone was kind of feeling it. I mean, granted, like I said, Wednesday, Thursday, not as many people were there, but everyone was just like, it is hot. Like it
Mhm.
was brutally hot. And so yeah, Wednesday we went in, got our bearings, and walked around the venue. And there's some music and things going on, but not a whole bunch. And so that was nice to like walk the venue. It's a huge venue,
We like met
tons.
up with some other friends that like we knew were there. Like we had a
Yeah,
bunch of friends that were there that were kind of like scattered all around, and
yeah,
it was nice to like meet up with friends and be like, and a couple of them would like help us like, oh, this is this stage, this is that stage, like because it's a pretty big grounds, but it's kind of self-explanatory because it's just like kind of one long like
like a
row in a
U
U,
shape kind
yeah.
of. Yeah.
So that was nice and like not, I don't think were all the stages going from Wednesday.
No, there's only a
Oh
couple,
yeah,
like
because one
two
was still being
stages, I
built
think.
even.
Yeah, there's only like two
So
stages,
it
I
was like
think, going on, or three.
it was like hard to catch a vibe. Like I've never experienced like not being able to catch a vibe at all. Like I feel like there's always a place where I can be like, all right, I'm good. Like this is fine. Like it's not like my favorite music ever, but like it's fine. And I just was like, what the hell? Like I can't catch a fucking vibe. Like nothing is hitting. And there's like this one stage that had bass music, and we're like, okay, cool. And we'd go there and we'd hear a good bass song, and then the next song is like a really shitty like drum and bass song, or just like a song that's just not good. And then there was one DJ that like we were like, okay, like I feel like this is gonna be good. And then like every other song was like drum and bass, bass, drum and bass, bass, drum. And I'm like, just because you can mix bass and drum and bass does not mean you should over and over and over, back and forth. Like it just was not a vibe. So anyway, we also were talking. You're laughing at me. Am I being dramatic?
The drama, yeah, this is pretty funny. It's just like the amount of times I've heard you say that in the last like whatever 2 weeks now, or just, this is pretty funny. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
So we couldn't catch a vibe. We were really
DJ
struggling on
snob over here.
on Wednesday. We were really struggling. And we like didn't really like take substances or anything. We're just like bobbing around, just like, all right, let's like try to figure this place out. And yeah, I don't know. Wednesday just I was like, I don't know. I don't like this place. This is like not it. Like I know that I shouldn't be comparing it to Shambhala or other Northwest festivals, but I am. Like it was hard not to. Especially because we weren't necessarily tied to like specific outcomes or anything, but we had kind of high expectations because we had so many friends that were like obsessed with this festival. Said it was like the best festival ever. You guys are gonna love it. Like everyone kept telling us over and over for 2 years, maybe longer. You guys are gonna love LIB. You have to come to LIB. You have to come. And so yeah, we had high hopes for sure. We didn't fully know what to expect because neither of us have been to like a festival that's new to us like in a while. But we had high expectations, and so I think by the first date at night, we're just like, huh, like why do people love this place so much?
But also at the same time, like it was the first day. No one was really there yet. I mean, I shouldn't say no one. There's still a decent amount, but not as many people. And so people who've been there were saying like, just wait till Friday.
That's
Like,
true.
and so like people were saying that. And again, not everything was open. And I thought Wednesday was fine to like get our bearings and walk around and then Thursday, and like some other friends were saying, like, oh, Wednesday, Thursday are sometimes the best because there's not as many people, and so you're just
Hmm.
like bopping around. And I'm sure it is. And the thing is, like, she said, oh, I couldn't find a vibe at all. It's not true. Like, we did find a vibe in like the crossroads. There's like this big
Oh
tent,
yeah.
and
Okay, I keep forgetting about that.
so that was always a vibe every time we went in.
That's true.
And so,
Can
like,
we expand on that for just a second?
I don't know. Sure. Whatever you
So we're bopping around, we're trying to find a vibe, can't find a vibe, can't find a vibe. We go to this tent called Crossroads, and it was like bohemian tent vibes, and it was really fun, like worldly music, and it ended up feeling like an ecstatic dance. It actually was really fun. You're absolutely right. Kind of forgot about that. And yeah, so I like was just like dancing around like a crazy person, like in the best way. I was like, yes, like finally. Thank you for reminding me of this.
Yeah.
I literally was like, finally, like I needed this, and I'm just like dancing, like literally like it's an ecstatic
And we
dance. I'm
all
like
were there too.
all around, like yeah, a lot of our friends were there. And then at one point, I'm like stop dancing. I'm like getting water or something. I'm like crouching down at this little cushion, like. And then this girl was like, "Oh my God, like you're such an amazing dancer," and I was like, wow, thank you. I'm like, I believe like everyone's a good dancer. And she's like, no, no, like you guys are so good. Like those are your friends, right? And I'm like, who? I'm like, oh yeah, my friends are over here. I'm like pointing at our friends. She's like, no, no, those guys you were dancing with. And I was like, oh no, I don't know them. And she's like, wait, what? Like she was just like mind blown. She's like, what do you mean you don't know them? Like you were dancing so good with them. And like I don't understand. Like your bodies were like moving together. And I'm like, yeah, no, I like don't even know their names. I haven't said a word to any of them. Like we were just moving. And I think that that like kind of like opened up her mind and she was like, "Wait, what?" So then I was telling her about like our retreats and how like it's ecstatic dance every single night. It's a lot of like how do you move in a way that feels really aligned with your body. So that was really exciting to connect with people of like showing like it's funny because to me I just was like finally I have a vibe and I can like express myself and feel the music and like connect with people. And for her, she saw that and was like, holy shit, that's an amazing dancer. And she's just so embodied and so empowered in her own being. And like, I want that. And I was like, fuck yeah, girl, you can have that. And so it just reminded me, I feel like I needed that little glimmer of like, yes, this is why you're here to just like literally be yourself and to show people how to do that for themselves. And I think that I really needed that moment. And then I like ended up connecting with these other people. And yeah, from there I was like, okay, like maybe it'll be okay. And like, we're supposed to be here, sort of thing. Like, yeah, there's a lot of hardness and we're supposed to be here. We chose to come here. This is part of our experience. Like, let's just roll with it. So yes, Crossroads was absolutely amazing. And every time that we like couldn't really catch a vibe throughout the weekend, we would like stop by the Crossroads tent. It was always a vibe. They would have like disco music sometimes. They would have like worldly music
That was
other
always a
times.
vibe. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
And like most of the time you had plenty of room to dance in there. So that was like a saving grace for sure.
Yeah, and so then fast forward to Thursday. Same thing. It's hot all day. We basically just chilled all day. I think we walked to the water, put our feet in
I
because it's
think
cooler.
I think that was a challenging part for me is like when we go to these other festivals here, it's like during the day everyone just goes to the river or like or there's like other activities during the day. At LIB there were so many activities, so much amazing
Which we did too
programming.
on Thursday. You and I went in
Yeah.
Thursday morning and did some activities, which was super fun and fun to walk around. But again, it was just so
Just so
hot.
hot and
And
it made me not want to do
And
anything.
so after a while, I was like, okay, well, let's go back to camp. And then it was just like, basically just like, let's just chill in the shade and just
hmm
like stay cool and just like keep our energy until the sun goes down at night because we'll go in again and bop around. And so basically that's what we did. It felt like a lot of that, just like, whew, I need to just like chill in the shade all
Well, like
day.
during the day on Thursday, we did like Max and I went into the grounds and like walked around because that was the first day that they like had programming during the day. And there were a lot of things I had like marked on my little schedule that I kind of wanted to hit. But we walked by the yoga tent for one thing and it said it was like a nervous system, energetic reset, or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is like, I feel like I could learn something from this because I'm hosting an intention setting energy reset at our friends festival, like literally in 10 days. And oh, 111.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, maybe I can like learn something from this, thinking it's going to be like a workshop. And it was like yoga. And in my like nothing against doing yoga at a festival. I think it's amazing because there are a lot of people that wouldn't do yoga otherwise and like they want to do it. For me, I'm like I will do yoga any other time. Like I don't want to just do yoga. Like I want to like sit in like a workshop, learn something. Like not saying that you can't learn anything, so please don't take this the wrong way. But yeah, it just wasn't what I was looking for. And so I was like, okay, well, let's kind of stay in the area. Let's peruse a little. Let's go talk to our friends at the Third Eye Pinecone booth and like let's just like walk around and then we'll like try to come for the next workshop, which was this guy. I should look up his name. Um, who does like all kinds of things like Kundalini and breath work. And we had gone to his workshop at Texas Eclipse Festival last April. And we just stumbled upon it. And it ended up being like, oh my God, opening up this, like, I want to do things like this at festivals. I want to lead people through things like this. And so when I saw this on the schedule, I was like, I really want to go to this guy's workshop. And he had multiple, but this was the one that like didn't conflict. And so Max went with me, and it actually was really great. I feel
That's
like that was a
nice.
good kind of like reset.
I felt great after that.
Yeah, it was a lot of like breath work and Kundalini kind of like mixed with, which I guess Kundalini does have a lot of breath work already. Anyway, yeah, so it was amazing. It was a good reset, and then we got really hungry, so we were like, okay, let's go back to camp.
And they were basically at camp, I think, the rest of the day, just chilling. I think we
Mhm.
walked to the water. But then yeah, Thursday night, same thing, like more things were open, but just couldn't find a vibe. Like just the music, the couple stages that were open, and they don't go as late, the stages on
Mhm.
Wednesday, Thursday. It just wasn't hitting. And so yeah, we did a lot of walking on Thursday.
Well, I want to talk about that.
Shout out our son
Wait,
for
before that, I
what?
want to rewind because Thursday was the day we did acid, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so we took, I think, just a half tab, right?
yeah,
We
from
took
our
a
friend Garrett.
yeah, so we took a half tab of acid, not a ton, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like super chill, like giggly," and we're like, "All right, cool." First of all, like we should know better. We've been going to festivals for how long? Like acid on the first like actual day of a festival, like maybe not the smartest, but whatever. Anyway, so we like take it like earlier, like in
We
the
all took
evening.
it,
Yeah,
all
we
four
like
of
we're like, "All
us.
right, cheers!" Like let's do this. So it was like earlier in the evening. And then we go into the festival, and I don't know at what point I split off. Like when, oh, I do know. Never
When we
mind.
went
Yeah.
in to the
So we
festival.
were like going in, and I had my like earplugs. I've been wanting to make them into earrings for literally like 2 years now. And my friend Hadley had all of her jewelry making stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Hadley's camp. I'm gonna make my earplugs into earrings. I'm like determined. So I told Max and our two friends, like, you guys go into the festival, you go find Jordan, like Hadley's partner, like I'll find you guys. So I'm at her camp. I'm like making these earrings. I was like so proud of myself because I am not a crafty bitch in that way. And I was like, look at me go. Like I made these earrings and they had cute little charms on them. And I get done right as the acid's like kind of starting to hit. I'm like, I gotta go. Like, bye guys, see you later. So she's still getting ready. I go in. And I was like, you know what? I'm determined. I am not gonna pull out my phone. Mind you, it's still like daylight outside. It's like before sunset, maybe like, I don't know, 7:30. And I'm like, I'm not pulling out my phone. I am going to simply find Max based on intuition. I'm just gonna like have my own journey in the meantime. And I was like totally loving it. So I'm like literally walking between stages, like never actually stopped fully at a stage. I would like stop for like maybe a minute and like keep going. And I'm just like wandering. And there were like moments when I'm like filming myself that maybe I'll like release into the wild one day of like me being like, wow, I'm having this realization about like me journeying around this festival is just like life. And we just like journey around till we find our people. And like sometimes we don't really know the right path and we just like trust intuition and whatever. So it was really funny. And then there were moments when I'm walking around alone and I'm just like giggling to myself, like out loud, just like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. And in my head, I'm like, I could literally just pull out my phone and call Max and be like, where are you guys? But I was like, I don't want to. So eventually, I'm wandering from one end of the festival where I came in, where my friends were camping, to the very opposite end to our friends at the Third Eye Pinecone booth. And I walk in and I'm just like, ha ha ha, like life is so funny. Look at me go. And at this point, I had already been on a solo journey where I like, I don't even know. I like walked by some stages and then I don't know, random like things were happening. I ran into one of the guys that I had danced with at that Crossroads booth or at the Crossroads stage. One of the guys that I was dancing with, the girl was like, "Oh my God, you guys like must know each other." And he was like, "Oh my God, hey!" And he was with this girl, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're amazing! Like, what? Like, who are you?" And I like introduced myself, and then I was like, "Well, I'm on a solo acid mission right now. I gotta go." And they were like laughing so hard. They're like, "That's amazing! Like, have fun." And meanwhile, before that, I had walked by this like big fire pit, and there was like in like Native American ceremony going on. And I was like, wait, what is this? This is so interesting. This is like so aligned. So I like kind of been on the outskirts of it, like watching it happening and like they're like praying, getting down, like getting down onto the ground, like thanking the ground, thanking the earth and like standing up and like singing and dancing. And
Which is super cool, by the way. Like,
yeah,
just
amazing that they have
side
that
note of
here.
like, yes, I know we've been talking about like how hard LIB was and like, oh, it doesn't feel aligned and wah wah wah. Like, yeah. But yeah, super cool that like they did have these things to like,
Hmm.
hey, like
This is not our
this is not our
land.
land, blah blah. Like, yeah. So
Thanking the earth.
thanking the
Like,
earth, like
yeah.
different things like that. So,
And bringing in like traditional cultures. Like it was
yeah,
really cool.
super cool.
And so after that got done, they had a bunch of like little like trinket things and like fruit and like snacks and like bags of popcorn. And so like I just went up. I was like, "Oh, all this stuff is blessed." Like I just grabbed this bag of popcorn, this like little Ziploc. And I'm just like, "Wow, that was like so nice." And then like one of the tribe members, one of the elders like blessed this bracelet. Like actually I have it right here and like put it on me. And I was like, wow, like that was so cool. Like I wouldn't have had this experience if like maybe I was walking around with my friends and we just like didn't even see this happening, right? So I'm like, cool. Right place, right time. I carry this bag of popcorn with me. Well, after that, I get to the pine cones booth and I'm like telling my friends that were at the pine cone booth, like, ha ha ha, I'm like trying to find Max and like I refuse to use my phone and it's hilarious. And like, um, and they're like, "What's in your hand?" I'm like, "This is my bag of popcorn. Like, it was blessed by a tribe." And they're like, "Wait, what?" And like, "Yeah, you want some?" And they all put one in their mouth and they're like, "Rachel, this popcorn is so dry. Like, this is bad." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, guys." And so then I just like zip it back up. And from that point forward, I literally was just like crunching it. And like, I called it my emotional support popcorn because it like felt really fun and nice. I carried it with me literally through that entire night. And then I was like, yeah, I'm just trying not to use my phone. And our friend Riley was like, well, I already texted him and told him that you were here to like texted Max. And I'm like, wait, but that means like, I was like, would it be funny if I like ran away now? And he's like on his way here. And he's like, yeah, probably that would be funny. And I'm like, all right, bye. So I literally leave after spending like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes talking to the guys there. And I'm like, ha ha ha, like, look at me go. I'm like Carmen Sandiego. Like, so eventually, like an hour later, I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of over this. And I realized that I didn't have like my card on me. I didn't have any cash on me. I was like, fuck, like I have my backpack, but like, why do I not have anything on me? And like, even if I was like hungry or something, like I couldn't even buy anything. And I'm just like, man, that kind of sucks. And as I'm thinking that, I'm walking by this workshop where they had made fresh pizza and we're just handing out pieces of pizza. And I was like, thank you, universe. So I grabbed a piece of pizza. I'm like eating that. I'm like, ha ha ha, like life is so funny. You just ask and you shall receive. Like, this is hilarious. Eventually, I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I like really want to find Max now. Like, I'm done being alone. And I feel like every festival, I have like a solo mission for like about an hour. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I want my people. And so then I like literally at this point had walked back and forth on the festival grounds at least 3 times. Like, literally had not stopped to like sit or dance or anything. And finally, I'm like walking back and like towards the Pinecone booth again. And I told myself, if I have not found Max by 9 p.m., I will call him. So I literally set a timer on my phone for like 5 minutes or however long it was. And I'm like, literally out loud, I'm like, come on, babe, like, you've got this, like, you can find me, like, and try to, like, telepathically communicate, right? And I'm just like, come on, we can do this, like, you got this, like, find me. And so then timer goes off and I'm like so defeated. I'm like, no. And I'm like walking towards the Pinecone booth. I'm literally so close to it. Because I'm like, whatever, I'll just go back to the Pinecone booth where I know I have friends and like talk to them and wait for Max. And I'm headed that way. And I'm like, fuck it. I have to call him. I told myself by 9 o'clock. So I call Max. He doesn't answer. Mind you, this man always answers. Like I always tell my friends, I'm useless on my phone at festivals, but call Max and he's got you, like to know where we are. And I'm like, oh my God, he didn't answer. I'm like defeated. I literally am about to, I'm like have tears in my eyes. I'm like about to start crying and he calls me back. I'm like, where are you? And he's like, I'm at the Pinecone booth. And I hang up. I'm like, fuck! Like I almost won my own game because I was on my way to the Pinecone booth. And if I would have just trusted my intuition and gone there, he literally was there. And I was like, damn it! But I'm also like kind of laughing about it. So I like I hung up on him and he keeps
That's
trying to
funny.
call back. And I'm just like, I can't answer. Like I have to just show up. And I was literally like, I'm 1 minute walk away. So I show up and he's just like, "Oh my God, like where have you been?" And he was still with our two friends that he walked into the festival with. Like they were all three still together. And I'm just like half laughing, half crying, just like I lost at my own game. Like I was so
No
close.
idea what she was talking about at the time. Just like, I what?
Stop laughing. And I was like, I lost my own game, my own game. I lost. I was so close.
Yeah, and funny enough, we actually were at the fire with like the Native Americans, like where she was at. Like we were on the outskirts and we just stopped for a second. And we're like, and I was like, oh, like I feel like Rachel would really like this. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she's in there. But then we just kept walking.
Yeah, so my friend Garrett afterwards, like we were all talking about this, and my friend Garrett was like, "Yeah, it was actually like really cute." Like Max was just like, "Oh, Rachel would love this," and
And
I was there,
she was there in there, but
and that was like an hour before we actually found each
yeah.
other. Crazy. That was like right like at or before sunset. So yeah, that happened, and that was like all of like Thursday evening basically until like 9 or 10 p.m. And then we like the four of us were together, and then like then it got funny. Now you can pick up where you
Oh, and then yeah, so then it was just Rachel and I and our friends Garrett and Lindsay. They might have went back to camp or something. They left somewhere, and so it was just Rachel and I at one stage, and then our two good friends Dustin and Ryan just walked right in front of us. We're like, "Oh hey!" And so yeah, they were like, "Oh my God, so happy to see us!" And they're like, "Oh, we've been wanting to see you all day," and
Yeah. They were like
uh,
so happy to hang out with us,
so
and we were
happy to
so
ha
happy to find them.
yeah, we're like,
Okay, let's
yes.
go find a
We're
vibe.
stoked. And so, shout out our son, Dustin. He's like, I got you. And so
Side
he,
note, we call him our son. It's a long story, but
yeah, side note, he's our son.
oh
And so, long story short, he took us all over the place. Like,
my
and we
gosh.
couldn't find a vibe. That like not even against nothing against like him. Like they're just we couldn't
Yeah.
find a vibe. Like the stages, the music wasn't hitting, and we just kind of went everywhere. And at this point, like Rachel was already tired of walking. She'd been walking. We're
For
like
I had been
me,
walking for like 2 hours straight, whereas like
we were just chill. Like Garrett, Lindsay, and I, when we were hanging out, and she was on her own. Like we were at a stage and we walked in. Like we were just pretty low key. We weren't just walking and walking. And so, yeah, I think we got a smoothie and stuff. Like we were chilling, and where she was just like
literally back
from
and
one
forth.
end to the next. So she was tired of walking and like finding a vibe. And we sat out like by the water. It was a little windy at that point, so then she was a little chilly. Like so, it was just like for her, she was having a hard time finding a vibe, and we were just
Yeah.
constantly
He
walking.
was
And
like,
so,
I know the spot, follow me. He'd be like walking, and mind you, he's on a very different level than us at this point. And I'm just like, I just want to chill. Like, I've been literally walking, like almost power walking back and forth, just like for literally hours. And I'm just like, I just want to find a place to chill. And he's just like, no, no, I know the spot, perfect spot. And we're like, okay.
yeah, and so, yeah, it was just a lot of walk. So she's like getting like frustrated because she's just like, "Ah, like we're just walking more. I just want to find something." And like again, it's hard when also the music is just not
Not
hitting, and you're
it.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, and so and everything's not everything's open at this point too, so not everything's going. So there's limited things to see, and it's like I feel like we've seen everything, and so that night for her, like I think really got her just frustrated,
Yeah.
and she was just like, I don't know about this place. So then, fast forward at the end of the night, everyone like goes their own way and goes back to camp and whatnot, and she was just like, I don't understand this place, like
Yeah.
just like not feeling it, and I'm like, it's only Thursday, like
Yeah.
we still have 3 more days to go, like tomorrow's the actual start of the festival, like let's like give it a chance. Like don't be so down on yourself. And so yeah, I think we went to bed. It was fine. And
Well, like
like
before that, once everyone kind of parted ways, like Max had this like really profound soul download come through. And I think that that kind of like put me at ease because I was like, okay, well, maybe this is part of the reason we were supposed to be here. And like we were able to like sit down and like talk about this download that came through and then bounce off each other. And I was like, whoa, okay, like this is actually kind of cool. Like we actually really needed this in our relationship. And like it's awesome that we get to talk about this and whatever. So I think that that kind of brought me more at peace. And
yeah,
during that conversation, I was like, you know what? This is just like when you travel. Like when you travel to other countries, there's gonna be some countries that you cannot wait to go back, and there's gonna be some countries that you're like, yeah, I've been there, like it was cool, don't really need to go back, right? So I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's just what LIB is for us. Like it's a basically like a country that we've been. I don't know why, but I kept saying Portugal. I was like, it's
Portugal's awesome.
like when you go to Portugal and like you don't necessarily need to go back, but it was cool. You've been there.
I feel like people go back to Portugal all the time.
I know.
Like,
Is it Portugal that I said?
yeah, I don't know why you
I
said
don't know why
Portugal's
either.
awesome,
Yeah, I don't know.
supposedly.
It's just like a random country that I thought. Anyway, so I was like, maybe it's just like it's like a country that you come, you visit, it was cool, and like you don't need to come back. And I'm like, that's okay. So I think that by the end of that night, I kind of changed my mentality at least a little bit so that I could like really embrace the process instead of being like, I fucking hate it here. And I was able to get out of my head a little bit more about like the hotness and like the dust and just like the energy of the place.
False, because on Friday she wakes up and it's like totally false because Friday she wakes up and she's in a worse head space than she was Thursday evening walking around. She wakes up and is literally like, I want to go
Oh
home
yeah.
because she's, yeah, literally hot, dusty. Her eyes, her contacts were
Oh yeah, that was
fucked up.
really
And so
fucking
like
with me.
she couldn't see, her eyes were burning. She just was like so uncomfortable. She's
You're
like
right.
freaking out. She's like, I'm so uncomfortable. Like I just want to go home. Like I hate this. You literally like I hate this place. It sucks. There's no vibe. Like just so
Okay,
over
yeah,
the
you're right.
top with it. Which I mean, granted, when you're feeling uncomfortable and like your eyes are burning and it's hot, like yeah, I mean, I get it. Things, but she was just like so. I want to leave and
Okay, but like I'm not lying. I think that like going to bed on Thursday, I was like, okay, like there's like purpose to us being here. I wasn't lying.
no, you just said like you went to bed and there was purpose here. But no, I'm telling the people that you woke up in a
Well, after I woke up, I was back to like I hate this place. Yeah,
yeah, you
you're
were back
right.
to like I want to leave
Yeah.
and so I let you just have your moment. I actually stayed pretty quiet. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. Like she can
True.
figure it out. I'm like I don't know. There's nothing I can do. Like I don't.
Well, you did like try to comfort and like ask me like what can I do for you?
Yeah,
And
I
I was like,
mean,
I don't know. And you were like,
yeah.
okay.
I'm like, all right, then I'll just sit here if you need me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so anyways, she was struggling, but fast forward, like, get some food, chill out. She took her contacts out,
I
like,
ended up having to wear glasses the rest of the weekend because like my contacts, I tend to like I'm pretty prone to dry eyes because of like rheumatoid arthritis. And I have been for a really long time for the last like several years. And so I use this special kind of contact solution, especially during festivals, that like extra cleans your contacts. It like has peroxide in it. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'll be fine because usually at festivals, even when it's dusty, like they're fine. I clean them out, whatever. And literally within like an hour or less of me putting in my contacts on Friday and Saturday, my eyes literally were so cloudy that it looked like there was just a fog on everything. And it like I tried eye drops, I tried taking them out and like putting them back in saline and then putting them back in. Like I tried everything and nothing was working. And I was like, well, I can't do this. And I do not like wearing glasses like out. I wear my contacts every single day for the most part. And so that just also made me uncomfortable having to wear glasses when like I didn't want to because I also like wearing my like funky like vibey sunglasses at night like the like with cool tints on them and stuff. And so that was like I can't wear these because I have to wear glasses. So that was also frustrating.
yeah. So then Friday, we went in during the day for a bit to see our friends Jordan and Hadley, and officially meet their good friends, JC and Lana, who they've been telling us for a couple years now. Like, you gotta meet them. Like, I feel like you guys would be great friends. So we went into it's called the Woogie stage, which is like the house, pretty vibey stage, and
And honestly,
super
that stage was always a vibe. I'm very grateful for
super cool
that.
stage. Like misters going on, like super cool, just colors and designs. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And so we went during the day and it was a vibe. Like guys had these like kind of
Like
water
spray
spray gun
gun.
things. And so it was hot. So they're just spraying. It felt so good. I feel like that moment right there was like, okay,
Yeah.
like here we
Things
go.
are
Things are
turning.
turning.
Yeah.
And so fast forward to the night, we hang out with Jordan Hadley, JC, and
So it was like
Lana.
three
It was like
couples.
three couples, and we spend the whole night together,
It was
us three.
amazing. We started calling ourselves the committee
Yep.
because we would be like, well, like, where should we go? And we like, be like, okay, well, it has to be like a committee decision. Like we are the committee. And it just like was a running joke. And then like other people that were like friends and like friends of friends like knew like that's the committee.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I've heard about you guys.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, word around town, you guys are the committee. We've been hearing about this committee. And so I feel like Friday, well, and quick backstory, just like I was also feeling like my stomach was off too. Like, I think maybe the water or something. It
Yeah.
wasn't just me, but like, other people, like our friends Garrett and Lindsay, who we were camping with, they actually unfortunately left Saturday because Lindsay's stomach just was
Could not
could
figure it
not
out.
figure it out. It was
And
struggling, and
maybe
like
like I'm like queen of all the things because I used to have a ton of tummy issues before even autoimmune disease and especially after. It's like I got all the things and I was like giving her all the natural things and like
yeah.
even not natural things and she just like it couldn't
Just
figure it
couldn't
out.
figure it
I
out.
felt
And
so
like
bad.
they went and got an IV
Oh yeah.
because they like there's like a tent you can go do that and pay $100 or whatever it is. And so they went and did that to get just electrolytes in there. And the guy was saying he's like, yeah, he's like I would maybe try and stay away from the water, like just from the spouts that you can fill up your
Hmm.
jugs and stuff. He's like I've been hearing a lot of people just like having stomach issues and just everything kind of just going through them. And so yeah, that was a thing for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And like I said, my stomach was off too Friday night, and I think Saturday was off
I
too.
mean, for a week after your
Well, it
stomach
kind of
was
got better. Like Sunday, Monday I was fine, and
uh,
then like it was yeah, after the festival, my stomach for like yeah, 5 days, 4 days it was like not good.
I'm
So
so grateful I didn't deal with this because I was
so
already
yeah.
dealing with enough.
Yeah, so that was just another hard aspect of it was like the stomach issues and like it sucks that Garrett and Lindsay had to leave early too
Mhm.
and but back to the story of Friday. So Friday was when we stayed up till sunrise
Didn't
and
mean to.
didn't mean
Just
to
happened.
and Jordan and Hadley who have been there before and they love lightning in a bottle and they all were camping in like the it's called Atlas Wild, which is like a nice boutique kind of camp area with showers and like nice Kodiak tents and teepee tents and all different amenities. And so they were so nice enough to give us wristbands to be able to go in there and take a shower and all the things. So that
Yeah.
was clutch. I think we took a
So
shower that night too,
I did
Friday,
that too. Yeah.
and before we had the night start. And so that was just a perfect way to start the night.
Yeah. We
And
needed it.
it
Like a
was
reset.
that was the night. It wasn't until, I mean, we had a blast all night and the committee started, and it wasn't until there's a place called Mixtape where sun is coming up and it's this old, like, building, like, or house, I guess,
It's like an old house and like it looks like if there was like a bunch of benders there. Like there's just like cassette tapes all over
like
and books
straight out of
half
the
leaved and
80s.
like fucked up couches, but like in the best
And they
way.
work though, too. There's like old lights that work. There's like an old elliptical machine in there. It's like straight out of the 80s. There's like old
Yeah.
movies and stuff playing, and there was just all 80s like playing. There was like
Amazing.
Queen, bunch of other just like
And then
old
there's
school
like DJs
bands.
in there like mixing vinyl and stuff.
Was that what was happening?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's like actual people DJing in their vinyl.
So that's what
I
was
think it was
playing
vinyl.
then.
Yeah.
That's what was playing
But
then.
it wasn't always DJ. Sometimes it was just music. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so yeah, that was the moment. There's like old jet skis and cars parked out front that you can just sit on, and
Yeah.
that was the moment for me, anyways. That was like, okay, LIB, like I get
I
you,
see
I
it.
see you,
Yeah.
and I get it now. Like I understand. Like
Yeah.
I understand the magic that people
It
experience
literally
here
took
at
until
LIB,
that
but it took us till literally
point,
Friday,
like 5 a.m. or
Saturday
6
morning
a.m.
at 5 a.m. Yeah, to be like, okay, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
and so the rest of the weekend was amazing. Like Saturday, Sunday, like we were with the committee
Yeah.
most of the time, the rest of the time, and
I feel like after like we kind of like formed the committee, if you will, we all were like, I don't want to not hang out with you guys. Like this is it. This is like who we're supposed to hang out with. And it literally made everything so much better. There was something else I was gonna say about that, but no, I don't remember.
yeah, we just spent the rest of the weekend with them basically, and other people would kind of
Yeah.
come in to the committee and
We'd
what would
call
you?
them auxiliary members.
Yep. They would come for a short time and then they would leave and yeah, whatever the committee wanted to do, the committee
It
did.
was so fun.
And what was awesome was after the festival, we stayed with Jordan and Hadley in
Yeah.
LA with everyone. So, and JC and Lana were there too for a little bit. And before they flew back to
Yeah.
Florida. And so it was nice to be able to like after the festival, like
Not get those like instant festival blues where you're like, I miss my friends. Like we got to
yeah,
hang out with our friends
decompress with
longer.
them. Yeah, so that was awesome. So I thought, yeah, the rest of the weekend was great. And the music hit. Like Friday night,
Oh
Saturday, Sunday. There
yeah.
was like amazing sets and performances, and it was just like,
Like
okay.
we're
Like
back.
we're back.
And another thing is like I think it was on Saturday, Peekaboo played, which you'll hear in like our engagement story was a big part of it. And Peekaboo played and like even
That was
before
Friday.
was it?
That was Friday. That was before the committee started
Oh
because
yeah.
you left and Jordan and Hadley showed
Getting my
up.
days
We
mixed up.
told them where we were at,
Oh
and
yeah.
Rachel went to the bathroom, and then Jordan and Hadley just showed up. I was by myself, and they just
Oh yeah.
found me, and then I was like, oh, and so then when you showed back up, they
Oh
were with me, and then
yeah.
that's when boom
And
started.
that's so true. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, like what we were like, okay, we have to go see Peekaboo because like we know it's gonna help us reset. Like we know that this is like really gonna and it did. Now that like I'm realizing that that's
Yeah,
the timing of things, like, wait, what? That's
yeah.
crazy.
That was the start of
Committee.
committee and like yeah, the reset.
Yeah, so we really needed that. Saturday was great, Sunday was great. I think that there was like still like looking back a lot of things that I would do differently in preparing like my own energetic space as well as just like in general. And I also know what to expect now, which is really helpful. We came away from it still being like, you know what? Like maybe we'll go back one day, but like we're not itching to. We like don't need to go every year or anything like that. And like
Yeah,
that's okay.
I would definitely go back. Like we asked each other this question, and you were kind of feeling at first like I don't know if I'll go back. Like maybe a while. I would definitely go back. Like I understand the magic now that happens at LIB. Like I get it now. But it's not one that I'm like I got to go every single year. And like she
No,
said, we would do it differently. We wouldn't
very
drive
different.
down and road trip down. We would probably get an RV and stuff
And
like
fly down,
fly
yeah.
down. And so I would 100% do it again for sure, but just would do it differently.
Yeah, very differently. And I feel like we got what we needed out of it. Like when people are like, oh my God, how was LIB? Or they like see my Instagram post where I said, like, yeah, it was really hard and it was fun. Um, I am honest about my experience with people and obviously don't go like this in depth because this is a podcast. But I'm like, yeah,
Be
we
45-minute conversation.
we like got what we needed out of it. It was really beautiful. Again, there's like things that we're not sharing on here right now, but that like we had like I feel like I think you even said that it was like an initiation. Like it was like this soul like relationship initiation that we kind of went through that was definitely needed for where we're at. And I'm really grateful for that and I'm grateful for like us being able to, hang out with like friends that we really love and like want to like help that relationship, thrive even more. There are like some friends that like we either never saw in the venue, but like would like a couple friends like would come to our campsite, but we never actually saw them in the venue.
Yeah.
Or like there was a couple other friends where like I didn't really get the time that I thought I was gonna get with them. Like it would be like kind of in passing or like, oh my God, hey, and then we would be together for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, and then it's like, okay, like everyone kind of parted.
And that's festivals though. Like
You
I feel like
know.
we have this expectation always going into festivals like I'm going to be with you all the time. We're going to hang out, we're going to do this and that. And then how festivals go is like you end up seeing that person but not as much,
Yeah.
especially if you're not camping together, like you don't see them as much and everyone's kind of just can be on different kind of
Yeah.
timelines because it's like
And different wavelengths, like
and
different
different
energies. And
wavelengths,
so it's
yeah.
like you might be really wanting to hang out with this person, and then you get together and you're like, oh, we're kind of on different levels right
Different
now. And
vibes
it's
right
like,
now. And
okay, it's a
yeah,
bad
and maybe
thing.
they want to go see this person, you want to see this person, and so like yeah, it just can not be. And so I think it just all goes back to like with anything, but festivals too, just like not having those expectations. And that's like the beauty of festivals is like going into something, not having those expectations. I think part of why it was so hard for us is we had high expectations, right?
Hmm.
All of our friends were going to be there. We're like, oh my God, again, I'm
And it's the
not going to
first festival of the
first
season,
festival of the
too.
season. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was in my head thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do all this with my friends. We're gonna get lost, go on all these adventures and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah.
And so I think that was another reason why it was hard because you got to go in with no expectations and just let it happen. And that's when like the magic happens. And I think after that Wednesday, Thursday, we kind of said that like no expectations, like
Yep.
just enjoy the rest of the weekend. Whatever happens, happens. We did, and boom, ended up being a
Yeah.
beautiful, and the committee was born.
And the committee was born. So we like a big theme in our lives lately has been not attaching to any outcomes. And so I think that this was just another reminder of that because we were attached to an outcome of like
100%.
Max was just saying, you know? So I think that it was just another reminder and also like for this point forward in life, not just for festivals because we literally have different festivals every 2 weeks from this point forward till the end of July and then we have our wedding 2 months
We're
after that,
crazy
which is
people.
also a festival.
We're
But like
crazy.
not attaching to any outcomes for any of it is I think it was a really good way to start festival season.
Mhm.
And I think it's another reminder that like things are not always going to be what you want it to be, but it's going to be what you need it to be. And your soul is always like guiding your path, right? And so sometimes the human self is like, this is so hard. I hate this. I want to go home. And then you have amazing people in your life that will help talk you down and be like, no, it's going to be fine. What do you need? I'm right here. Like, we're doing this together. And I am very grateful that like Max is that for me and like keeps me very like level headed and even when I'm like being dramatic he's like okay yeah that's a little dramatic and I hear you, I'm holding space for you, but like let's rein it in a little bit.
Like it's hard. I get it. It's hot. I'm also hot. It's uncomfortable, but you'll power through.
Yeah. uh
Seen this before.
yeah, yeah, you've seen it plenty of times. So yeah, it was an amazing experience overall. We would go back. I feel like there's like so much more we could definitely say about it, but I feel like those are like my final thoughts about the way that it went is like we learned once again, do not attach to outcomes. It's going to be what you need it to be, not what you want it to be. And that goes not just like for music festivals, but for really like any sort of
Anything.
experience
Yeah.
that you're going to do that's new or even maybe not new, like maybe something you've done before. And sometimes it's even harder to not be attached to outcomes for things you have done before because you're like, well, it went like this last time. Like, why can't it go like this time?
And I think a big thing, like moving forward with just our summer and stuff and festival season, like we had this amazing, obviously, time at Shambhala last year, got engaged and stuff. We're going to Shambhala again this year. I personally keep telling myself, especially after LIB experience, like I don't want to go into Shambhala and think we're gonna have the same exact magic we had last year. Like
That's a good point.
if we think that, it might be difficult. Shambhala might be like, "Oh, okay, you're gonna think that here. Now it's gonna be hard."
Yeah.
Like
And
I,
Shambhala would do
Shams would do
that.
that, and so I don't want to go into Shambhala having this expectation, like, "Oh my God," because last year we went with zero expectations, and
Nothing,
it
yeah.
was insane. And so I want to go in with kind of similar, like, no expectations. Her and I are just gonna camp together, and we're just gonna go.
Yeah,
Like that's what I want to tell ourselves
it's
and
true. That's
do
a good point.
because um, I could see it going the other way if we had
The
these
universe is
all
like,
these
you still haven't
yeah.
learned. Here you go.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no expectations there. Go enjoy and just
And I
yeah.
think in congruence with like the expectation thing, like something that someone had mentioned to me, I think on Friday maybe, is they were like, look, like, yes, we are so blessed with all of our festivals in the Northwest, with like, again, the water features and just the people and the nature around us, like the beautiful greenery and mountains. And they're like, but this is like almost if you were to equate like Shambhala, but for LA people, right? It's in the middle of nowhere in Southern California. Like, this is people from LA. This is not Northwest people. Yes, the vibe is just going to be different. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just different. And I think that like that kind of
Shout out
also
our son for saying that.
yeah. Oh, is that who said it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. And like
Who
once you,
also was the one to say you need to come to LIB and
yeah,
really was like
yeah, he really
convinced
pushed
us
it.
to
Yeah,
go. Which
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Truly, like we got what we needed
Yeah.
for sure. And so once he said that, I was like, okay, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. And I appreciated him saying that because I'm like, it's going to be a different vibe. It's not just like a brand new festival that we haven't been to. It's completely different people than what we're used to being around in the Northwest. And not to say that like, people don't go to both. Sorry. Not to say that people don't go to both, but yeah, it was just different. It was a different vibe. So just like going to a different country, like I said. So I think that that's another thing in your own experiences in life is like no matter what, if it's a music festival, if it's like a new job, if it's a new country you're literally traveling to, if it's a new life like experience, it's going to be different, especially based on like the type of people that you're around, the type of people that you're interacting with. And just recognizing that everyone has their own experiences that you know nothing about. So like half the people that like we were coming in contact with, we don't know what their experience was. And so even though we're like, I don't know if I like this place, we're still like being ourselves and trying to admit like the highest version of ourselves even when we aren't feeling our best, because like we don't want other people's experiences to be weird because like our energy is completely off. So like even through when I was like complaining, I was still like, okay, like let me at least try to get to that highest embodied version of self, because otherwise I'm just going to continue to be super miserable and then other people are going to catch on to that. Like I don't want that.
Don't need that.
No.
And if I was from California or LA or wherever, and LIB was the closest like festival like that, that's not this like kind of mainstream festival, 100%. If
Oh
I went there,
yeah.
I would be like, this is the greatest place
For
ever.
sure. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I
Um,
agree.
yeah.
They just don't know what Shambhala is.
Well, I think there's just a lot of other just festivals popping up that are awesome and different. Whether
Yeah.
it's there's Base Coast in Canada, is
I
supposed
mean,
to
there's
be
a ton.
amazing.
There's
I
High
mean,
Vibe
even
Fest, which
High
we
Vibe
really want to go to in
Festival.
California.
There's the North Coast, right? Or why am I drawing a blank? The one in Northern California in the Redwoods.
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights, Base Coast,
Yeah.
Northern Lights. Like that's supposed to be amazing. Like and across other states too. I'm sure there's other just beautiful small ones. I mean,
Hmm.
we have APOG just in our backyard, which
Yeah.
is incredible. And so, yeah, it's cool. I think every festival has their different unique things, and yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah. So that is our recollection of Lightning in a Bottle. I don't know. I really felt called to record this episode because I think that it's important to hear like all aspects of the festival experience. And like I had never before, like I said at the beginning of this episode, I had never before walked away being like, wow, that was actually really hard and I'm glad I went. Because I've heard people talk about that before. I've heard people like talking about festivals where they like left early because they just couldn't catch a vibe, or where they like hated their
People at
experience.
Shambhala too. I mean,
Yeah, and
lots of
I've like
people.
never had that. I've never like fully understood what that feels like, and now I get it. And I think that when we have experiences like this, it's actually so important for us to share about it, because that's how we all start to like feel that empathy and feel like a sense of understanding and like what's the word? Like we feel understood, right? And so now I know that I can have genuine empathy when people are sharing experiences about like they didn't have a good time at a festival, because now I'm like, oh no, I get that.
Hmm.
And now I also know the experience of not having a great time and like turning it around and realizing like the lessons in it and realizing how powerful it actually was. So yeah.
That's that. That's our experience at LIB. Would you go back?
Yes.
Yes.
One day. The cool thing is it is all ages. So like you could go back like if you like have kids with you, or like if you're like older, like I mean any festival you could go if you're older, but you might feel like more comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that that's also a cool part, that Shambhala is not all ages.
Overall, easy in, easy out
Oh, but
too.
one other thing that I wanted to mention is that there was like so much alcohol everywhere at LIB, which I did not love at all. At music festivals, personally, like whatever people like alcohol, it is what it is. I personally think that alcohol is way worse than a lot of substances out there, like especially for your body and brain and just like your experience in general, especially when it's that freaking hot. But the thing that I didn't like is like not only were there like little bars here and there, there was like I feel like it was a big like basis of the festival. There was like a white claw thing here, a tequila thing here, and a bar with everything here, a beer thing over here. Like it was all these separate booths all over the place that were like branded. And I just didn't like that that was like such a prevalent thing, because I think that it really changes the vibe of festivals. And like for instance at the Gorge they have like, you know, places where you can buy alcohol, but it's not like all over the place. Like they have like certain bars in certain places. It's not like each company has their own little kiosk thing and stuff. Or at Shambhala, which is a dry festival, it's no alcohol.
Well,
So
LIB is bigger than the Gorge,
it is a
like,
lot
and
bigger.
so there's going to be more al The thing is, like, most festivals in the states that are not on private property, like Shambhala can say no booze because it's on their private ranch, like, are probably going to have alcohol sponsors. Like, that's just the,
Yeah.
like, that's just That's just what it's gonna
I
be
know.
like. And so when you have brands, alcohol brands coming in saying, I want to be a sponsor and have a booth, like, yeah, you're gonna say yes to that. And
Yeah.
so that's just kind of the name of the game. And so yeah, it does kind of change the vibe because a lot of people are drinking and whatnot, and there's just yeah, bars and things all over the place.
I
And
just felt like
so
it was like everywhere. And
you're
maybe
gonna
that's just
find
my
you're gonna
perception.
I think you're gonna find that most festivals, unless it's smaller. That is LIB is massive, so I think unless it's a smaller festival, you're gonna see that a
I
lot
feel
of the
like I
times.
disagree, but that's okay. It's okay to disagree.
Well, no, if you I'm just saying on a huge like production scale like that, if you have like LIB is pretty known,
Yeah.
if you have like alcohol sponsors coming to you and like
No, I see what you're
paying, then
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
No, I totally see what you're saying.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Um, I was just saying, like, yeah, my point is just that it changed the vibe a lot. And, like, it also changed my vibe. It's, like, a personal problem, too, of,
Yeah.
like, when I'm seeing it everywhere and I'm realizing that it's so prevalent, I'm just like, ugh, because I don't really drink a lot. So, or, like, at all at festivals. So I think that for me, again, my experience was just like, don't love that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway, yeah, so thanks for listening to our experience. We one day will definitely get the episode out about our engagement. We literally just told the story to our friend Hannah as we were dropping her off at the airport today because it's like a half hour story. Like it takes a while to get through and there's like so many little details to it. And
Not as
so
long as this one.
I know this was a longer
this is
story.
a long story.
But this was like fresh on our
I
minds.
know.
The other story will like never not be fresh on our minds for sure. Anyway, yeah, if you have any questions about Lightning in a Bottle or other festivals, I'm always happy to answer. I love sharing. If there's like any other like specific things about festivals that you want to hear an episode on, like please reach out and let me know. Other than that, thanks for being on my
Thanks for
podcast.
having me.
Until next time, keep shining, keep aligning, and we will talk soon.
Peace.
Bye.